Hey, Hampton Roads.
Today is your last chance to help the nonprofits that give so much to our area.
At the Armed Services YMCA, every dollar you donate helps strengthen local military families.
Because of your donation, we served over 6,000 meals.
Go to givelocal757.org and make a donation to the nonprofit of your choice.
Give now! Because of your donation, we can have a safe, full-time, in-person learning environment.
Give now at givelocal757.org.
Hi. All right, we're very excited. We've been just rolling with the prizes, and I do have two to announce right now. The first is the post-rush hour prize, and that goes to the Muse Writers Center. And the second one is the Lucky 11 prize, and that goes to Connect with a Wish. So congratulations to these two organizations, and we'll see you next time.
Now more than ever, nonprofits and charities across the region need our support. Even though COVID-19 has changed the way we live, these agencies continue to work on the front lines to help those impacted during these uncertain times.
Now more than ever, we need your support.
Your support will allow us to transform lives.
Now more than ever, help the organizations dedicated to helping others.
Donate through Give Local 757 to help today.
Give today at givelocal757.org.
That's right. It's givelocal757.org. I'm just getting this back on the screen here so you guys can see. Just bear with me for a second so we can get that number up there. The magic of Switcher Studio, ladies and gentlemen, in real time, posting up that donation total, $894,000. Let's get $8 more on there so we can call it an even $895,000 raised so far during Give Local 757. What a day. And I just want to bring up last year so you guys can compare as we look on here. Here's a snapshot of how we performed last year. $1,667,977. And so if we continue on this pace, Hampton Roads, I'm counting on you. If we continue on this pace, we're looking in good shape to hopefully get up to that number or even exceed it. There you go. $895,000 raised already. And that's a credit to you watching and listening at home. Before we bring on our nonprofits, I do want to acknowledge and say thank you to our live stream sponsor for the day. That is my friends at Switcher Studio. Switcher Studio is the platform that allows me to create all of this fancy video. As you can kind of see my friends here from Switcher filming some B-roll in pre-COVID times. Switcher Studio allows me to put everybody's information on the screen. It allows us to use those colored frames. It allows us to put comments on the screen. We'll play some pre-recorded videos here in a bit. So if you really want to step up your live streaming game at your nonprofit, we've got a special offer for you today. You can go to switcherstudio.com and use code GIVE30 to get a 30-day free trial of Switcher Studio. You can go straight to it using that link that you see on the screen, and you can get started and create some fun video like we are working on today. Let's see, who are we going to bring on first? Let's find my pal. Let's unmute Laura and get Laura on the screen first. Hello, Laura. Can you see and hear me?
I can, Chris. Thanks so much for having me here, and thanks to Give Local 757. I mean, what a wonderful opportunity we have today.
Laura, it's so great to meet you and connect with you. And, you're representing, of course, the Armed Services YMCA of Hampton Roads. And I hear that this is not your typical YMCA. It's
not. It is. So the typical Y is what we're challenged with. We have this, Y in our name. And a lot of people don't know the difference between us. So we have people that come in and want to know where our pool is and what the fitness hours are. And that's definitely not what we are. We are only one of 12 branches in the country that support the Armed Services. So we are Armed Services YMCA of Hampton Roads. And we are the local support for our active duty military families. And obviously the military plays an enormous role in the Hampton Roads community. So it must be a special feeling to get a chance to work with these families on a regular basis. It is. It is. I mean, that's our sole mission, is to strengthen that military family so that they're able to take care of us, out there, and we take care of their families here on the home front while they're serving our country and protecting us. Rumor has it you guys have a new food pantry. Can you tell me all about it? We do. We have, it's called the Patriots Pantry, and it was created actually as a result of the pandemic. We know that there were a lot of challenges with military spouses, that second income, not being able to have that in the families. So we created a food pantry just for that purpose. Our focus is young junior enlisted. That usually have the most need there. So we're, excited to have that as a service to our families. And so that program is one of a number that if somebody makes a donation today, their donation will go directly to support those programs. Is that right? Absolutely. We focus on a lot of what we focus on is our youth enrichment and child development programs. For example, one is an Operation Little Learner that helps. It's a Parent and Me program that teaches parents how to teach their children and prepare them for pre-K and kindergarten, because we know that the parent is the child's first teacher. So we help navigate them through that process. We also have another program called Operation Hero. We know that military life can be challenging. The active duty parent volunteers, but the family doesn't. They come along for the ride, and it could be a very challenging time. So we help with this program navigate the children through the challenges that they could have being in a military household, and showing the important role that they play in being in that military family. Laura, the reason I keep looking left and right here is because my camera's over here, but I can see you over here, and I'm admiring the slides that you've got behind you. We did a little training a couple of weeks ago. We talked about the value of having a great background, and this has just been fantastic. So are there any other programs that you'd like to touch on while we're here and we're live? Well, we do have right now, we have our 5-star Kids Academy, which is our before and after care program. And then we have our Operation Summer Camp coming up soon. Our theme this year is Who's Your Hero? So it's going to be very exciting. I know we'll be face to face with children, and I know they're very excited to come on board. And, every dollar that's donated today and across the board, any donation we get supports local military families. It does not go out of this community. And a lot of people, we get no support from the Ys, either the local Ys or the national Ys. And sometimes people think if I donate to a Y, I'm supporting the Armed Services Y. That's not the case. We're all community funded. Even though we support military families, we don't get funding from the Department of Defense either. So every dollar that comes through today supports local families and helps us achieve what we need to with no cost and low cost programs for the families.
Well, Laura, we do want to say thank you so much for taking the time today and for putting in all this preparation for your presentation. It's just been outstanding. I'm sure that there is a lot more content available if people want to learn more about what you guys do on your social media channels as well.
Yes. Please go to our Facebook site or our website, and make sure when you go to our website, you go to the Armed Services YMCA Hampton Roads, so that you can see everything that we do here locally in the Hampton Roads Market.
Awesome. Well, Laura, thank you so much for taking the time today. We wish you the very best of luck on your Give Local 757 fundraising efforts. We've got just under 12 hours to go, and so it's definitely not too late. We also just crossed $900,000 here, so we'll play all the sound effects here with Laura, and we'll get a little round of applause for Laura. Thank you so much for taking the time. We are going to bring
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome. And I will hopefully get a chance to meet you in person sometime as well, and get a chance to visit I got a text from Tammy that says, just broke 900,000. So Tammy, if you're watching, we got you covered. Thank you. So let's unmute here. How about Michelle?
Hi.
Let's find Michelle here and get Michelle on camera.
Hello.
Press the button here. Hello.
How are you?
There you are. Now we can see
I'm
you.
Here.
Michelle, we got you. Michelle
Yay.
is representing, of course, the Peninsula Pet Pantry, which rolls right off the tongue.
Yes, it does.
So, Michelle, tell us all about your organization.
We are a very small local nonprofit, and we started when we discovered there were a lot of beloved pets being surrendered to shelters simply because of financial hardships, and owners were not able to provide them food and supplies. Kind of like what we saw last year with COVID. So we set up our nonprofit to be able to provide those food and supplies and medical treatments for these local pets, in the hopes that we would be able to keep them out of shelters and rescue groups.
Can you talk about how much more important pets have been for families over the last 15 months?
Since the emergence of COVID, people have lost so much. We've lost our jobs. We've lost the ability to socialize. We have lost contact with family. For many of our friends and our clients, our pets are the one consistent thing that we still have in our life. They're there for us. Blood, sweat, and tears. They listen to it all. And to be able to keep them safe it's been very important to us.
Michelle, where exactly will dollars go when somebody logs on to givelocal757.org today and makes a donation to your organization?
Every single dollar that is donated to the Peninsula Pet Pantry goes to our friends, our neighbors, our coworkers. It's in our local community. Hampton, Newport News, into Gloucester, even the South Side, but 100%, because we are all volunteer run, 100% of every donation goes directly to feeding animals, medical treatments, providing spay and neuter services, anything that actively has to do with our neighbors and their pets and being able to keep them at home.
Can you tell me a story of a pet whose life maybe you changed or saved recently through your services?
I can tell you 1,000 stories. And it's not honestly just about the pets. It's about the clients who own the pets. We have a very, very special, one of my favorite clients. I love you all, but we have a 91-year-old woman who is living in assisted living with her 21-year-old cat. Her cat has been diagnosed with some kidney disorders. 21-year-old cat. Is that not fabulous?
That cat is older in cat years than its owner.
It is. But the cat was diagnosed with some medical issues and put on specialty prescription food, which came to about $300 a month that obviously our client could not provide. So we were able to step in and get that prescription food for her. The joy and the piece of helping her cat is really what this is all about. We love our pets, we love them to death, but it's our neighbors who are going to be the ones that benefit the most. And that's kind of where we're coming from. And hopefully her cat's going to see 22 23, 25. Maybe we'll set a record. We don't know.
We're going to have to, next year, I think we're going to have to put up an extra stat. I'm going to call Larissa from GiveGab and see if we can add to the line here years of this cat.
That's right. Her name is Sugar.
Sugar's age.
Sugar is 21.
A little picture of Sugar to throw up there next year as well.
I'll see what I can do.
Michelle, thank you so much for taking the time today to chat with me. And I wish you the very best of luck with your Give Local 757 fundraising efforts. It's a pleasure to meet you.
You as well. Good luck to all of our nonprofits. We're going to do it today.
I love the enthusiasm. Keep smiling.
Thank you.
Let's turn next to Lisa. Lisa, are you ready to go? Let's see. And Lisa, if you're going to unmute, there you go. I can hear you now.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Lisa, thanks for taking a little bit of time to join us. Can you tell me all about Ballet Virginia?
Sure. Ballet Virginia is an academy and a professional company. Here we're based in Norfolk. We have also a location in Virginia Beach, and our efforts are to bring classical ballet and really solid dance training and performances to the Hampton Roads community. We've performed at Harrison Opera House in Norfolk. We regularly perform at the Sandler Center pre-COVID times. We're getting ready to do our first show since a live show since COVID came this weekend at Zyder's American Dream Theater. And so we have two aspects, the academy, which I think right now, pre-COVID times, we had over 400 students. And I think now we're around 275, 300. So we're building back up. And we are just here to bring the beauty of dance to everybody.
Well, Lisa, this is your first year participating in Give Local 757. Can you talk about how it's been going for you so far, 12 hours in?
Last I checked, it's been a busy morning because we're getting ready to do performances. So last I checked, we were up to $950 if you want an amount. An exciting thing that our board is matching the first $1,800. So that'll
Awesome.
double. If you give us 50, it'll really be 100. So that's really exciting. I am also live streaming from right outside our rehearsal hall. I thought it would be exciting to see our dancers in action, our 8 professional dancers. Yeah, this is our first time with Give Local 757. Like all the other nonprofits around, we are struggling through this pandemic. So far, we've kept everything going. We've managed to keep our dancers employed. They've been doing some teaching and some virtual performances. But like all nonprofits, it's been a tough year for us. So we joined 757 to just be with everybody during these times.
And so those live streams that you're talking about today, those are going to be on your social media channels. Where exactly can people find those?
The performances?
Let's start with what you said you're streaming today to support the Giving Day efforts, or?
Well, I'm doing this.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Okay. And then you have the shows coming up on the 13th through the 15th. Where can people find out kind of where they can get involved with that?
So if you want to come to our live shows, well, actually for both, you go to thez.org, THCZ.org. That's the Zyder's American Dream Theater. And you can buy tickets for both our live performances. And then on Thursday, we're filming, and you can buy a virtual performance and watch it in your house. And we've been doing a lot of those through Zyder's during the pandemic.
That's going to be magnificent. It must be sort of a big exhale, maybe not quite yet, but you probably feel that exhale coming to get back to performing again. Is that right?
And just that excitement, it's in our blood. I was a professional dancer many years ago.
Yeah.
And everyone on faculty, our resident choreographer, everyone, we've all danced professionally, and it's just in our blood, and it's how we mark the year. September comes, we have Nutcracker auditions. We rehearse for Nutcracker, and then Nutcracker happens, and it's just, like everybody else has Christmas, Easter, 4th of July. We have these, markers of things that we do. And so that's been really off this past year. And mostly we focused on the academy, and which has been great. We did virtual for a while. We came back in person with lots of COVID protocols, and So hopefully this year brings us some more normalcy, and we will be so grateful for that.
Well, let's take a look at the video that you guys sent over, and we'll kind of show off. This is a beautifully done video. We'll kind of show off a little bit of what that magic looks like at Ballet Virginia, and we'll be right back here with a little bit more from Lisa.
Right. I don't think there's any voiceover on that video, so
oh, should we just do you want to? We could talk over it then. Do you want to kind of explain as I play it then, rather than just playing it? Explain kind of what we're seeing.
Yeah, if I see it, but I did the video, so I think I know what we're looking at. So go ahead and play it, and I'll talk over it if that's all right.
Sure.
So I was just trying to catch the many aspects of Ballet Virginia here with our professional dancers rehearsing, and they're actually having rehearsal right now, and I was trying to catch that. And then also our kids, you know, dance can really transform a person's life, especially children these days. You know, with COVID, they've been inside, they haven't been able to do a lot of stuff, but they can come to the studio. We stay apart, we wear our masks. A lot of the photos are pre-COVID, but I hope it captures, you know, the beauty of ballet, the joy of the children, and the artistic excellence of our company members, our professional company members.
Well, I think we would all agree that we all need a little bit more joy in our lives. And I do want to say thank you, Lisa, for bringing that to us through your art and through your vision. We really appreciate you taking the time today to join us. And again, 13th through the 15th, you can join either live or virtually. That sounds like a fantastic opportunity. So thank you so much for taking the time.
You're welcome.
We'll let you get back to work.
All right, thank you.
Nice to meet you. And we've got one more great guest to bring on. Her name is Rebecca. So let's cue Rebecca on there. Hello, Rebecca. Good morning.
Hi. Hey. Hi, Chris.
I guess it's not morning anymore. Good
Come on,
afternoon.
man. Get with it. It's going so fast. You're just breezing right through the day.
I got to put some more caffeine in the...
More caffeine is always good. Hey, hello from the Virginia Living Museum in Newport News.
It's fantastic. Why don't you tell me all about what you got going on there?
Well, we are exactly what our name says. We connect people to nature, Virginia nature, and living nature, right? So we exhibit and we educate about all things Virginia. So that is native plants, animals, fish, skies, ecosystems, you name it. You can see Virginia here in Newport News, all in a 2-hour period if you go really fast through this 23-acre property. But we're a community-built organization, Chris. The Rotary and the Junior League built the museum in 1966. And so coming upon 55 years later, we are strong. We're a group of passionate staff members and approximately 400 annual volunteers. So it truly is still a community organization, group of people who love nature.
So I love hearing about all the people. We'll talk about them a little bit more in a minute. Yeah. But I've got to ask you about a non-human named Sarge. Who is Sarge?
All right. Sarge is the future star of the museum. Sarge is a native bobcat. He's currently just approaching 2 years of age. And he, like many of the animals here, is a non-releasable native animal. So he's one of the stars that we're raising money for today through the Great Give Local 757. Sarge had a particularly challenging start to his life. He was found literally on the side of the road. His mother had perished, most likely from a car strike. He had some pretty severe injuries, and he was picked up and rescued by a veterinarian out in the country. Rehabilitated and came to the museum because he was deemed by the state as non-releasable. When he got here, started to grow with us. We had him, of course, in an isolated space. Our veterinarian found that that right forelimb was severely challenged, and after conferring with other veterinarians across the United States, as well as our state veterinarian, the best decision for Sarge to remove him from his daily pain was to amputate that right forelimb. So we did that here on site, again with our veterinarian and some volunteer professional help assisting. And Sarge has made an incredible, miraculous recovery. It is as if he's unaware that he's missing a limb. He is absolutely so spunky, and literally the day after surgery, he was moving, and it was almost like he was kind of thanking us for removing all that pain. So now he is a climber. He exhibits all of his native species traits and habitats. So we need a new enclosure for Sarge to keep him safe here so everybody can enjoy him and learn about bobcats, because they're really rarely seen in nature. They're very seclusive, and they are not pack animals. So as they're traveling solitary, they usually do it in the evening and very quietly.
What a strong and resilient animal, you know, like to have a limb amputated like that. And here I am worrying about going to the dentist in a few days. And you mentioned he's marching around the day after having.
If you want to truly learn about pain and resiliency, there are many species better at it than humans, Chris. Absolutely true.
That's a very reasonable take. Rebecca, I wanted to ask you, you listed that this is your 7th year participating in Give Local 757. Why do you keep coming back, and what do these dollars mean specifically today?
Yeah, we joined in from the get-go, and why we do it.
So year 8, my apologies. Gotcha.
It's the community. I mean, it's the community. It's why we're all here. This is a fabulous community to live in. The quality of life here, because of all the nonprofits that partner with the local businesses and the people that are working and living here, it's a fabulous. I've traveled with the military career husband for 20 years prior, and we chose here. We chose the 757 area to stay and live and raise our children. It is got everything. You've got the water, the mountains, the beauty of Virginia is incredible and unparalleled in my opinion. And the community here, the people that build these nonprofits and support them so that we all can have a better quality of life, that's who I want to be around.
Well, thank you to you and your entire family for your service. And thank you to everyone who's watching, who may have served or who has a family member who has served.
Absolutely.
We know, of course, the community in Hampton Roads is really one of the leading military communities in the United States. And obviously we can't thank all of you enough for everything that you guys do. So is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap things up here on our 12 p.m. broadcast?
I'd like to say, come on, 757. We are strong. We have
like
a very, very diverse community. You're talking about military and a lot of nationalities, and we are a representative of America. And we support each other, and there's a lot to do here today. We're passing, 923 now, Chris. This is pretty awesome. So we're going to blow way past last year's goal. I know that for sure.
I hope so. And, it's really all those donors that are out there watching and listening that are going to make that possible. And so we can't say thank you enough to everyone who's among those 4,225 donors so far. And we're going to work, Rebecca, on trying to get some more to come help out Sarge. So
absolutely.
Thank you so much for your time, Rebecca. It was an absolute pleasure to meet you.
Chris, come and visit. Newport News is fantastic.
I got my fingers crossed. I would love to come be there, and I will put it atop my list to come visit you guys when I make it out there for sure. Thank you so much, Rebecca.
Thank you.
That was Rebecca from the Virginia Living Museum, and I'm going to readjust here. And just take a minute to say thanks. This has been fun so far. We are more than halfway through Give Local 757 2021. The conclusion of this broadcast ends the first half of our presentation. And I'll be back at 1 p.m. With our next group of nonprofits. I'll show you exactly who they are in just a moment. But before we sign off, let's take another look back at the history of Give Local 757. I love this graphic, how you can see to date, more than $5.3 million has been raised for the duration of the last 7 years. And of course, now we can add on more than $925,000 to 207 nonprofits so far today. You can see last year, the 2020 snapshot, 1.667, so just about 1.668 million raised. And we've got an eye on that number as we're scrolling through here. 925,000 here just after 12:30 here in the great Eastern time zone. Again, my name is Chris Strubb, the Giving Day guy. I'm very grateful to be your host and producer today. If you want to connect with me on social media, I am at Chris Strubb on Instagram and Twitter. You can see some behind the scenes. We've got some behind the scenes cameras here too. And we'll sign off with that. Our 1 p.m. broadcast, let's bring up that information here. We'll have appearances by Walk It In, Inc., the Salvation Army, Hampton Roads Area Command. I'll just be honest, I love me some Salvation Army, and so I'm very, very much looking forward to chatting with them. The USO of Hampton Roads in Central Virginia, and Norfolk CASA. Of course, make sure you hit that like button here at PCF Virginia if you're new. And until 1 p.m., I'm Chris Strubb, your host, signing off here on Switcher Studio, and I will see you guys back here at 1 p.m. Thanks so much for tuning in.